uh, let's see. Are you all set to go, Rand?
Am I here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. Great.
Thank you,
Okay.
Martin.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead?
Okay, my name is Rand Bishop, and I returned to my home state of Oregon in 2012 from Nashville, Tennessee, to look after my 85 and 86-year-old parents at the time. They're now 93 and living in assisted living. I don't know whether I'll ever see them again because they're in lockdown. And in 2017, I did a really crazy thing. I walked from the Ventura, LA County line back home to the Central Oregon coast. Why did I do that? Why would a 67-year-old semi-retired musician, author, do such a crazy thing, especially when I had no experience with long distance hiking. I had very limited camping experience. I had very, very bad knees and feet, but I was kind of brokenhearted. It was after the last election, and I felt like this country was getting really mean. And I kind of felt like I needed to find out if there were still nice people out there in the world. And so I met 1,000 people in 90 days. And on my 61st day, it was June 30th. I started on May 1st. June 30th, I was crossing a bridge in Northern California. It was over the Smith River. And I was pushing my cart. The bridge was extremely narrow. And it's one of those bridges where if you go onto it, there's a strobe light that senses your presence and turns on a strobe light so that cars will be aware that there's a bicyclist or a pedestrian on the bridge. So I was about 3/4 of the way across the bridge. Of course, as a pedestrian pushing a cart, I was slower than a bicycle. And so the light went off and a great big black Dodge Ram 2500 pickup pulled up right next to me and slowed to my pace. That was pretty odd and a little bit intimidating. So suddenly he revved his engine, he spun his wheels, he shot gravel onto me and bilged out a huge black cloud of smoke, diesel smoke, exhaust, and then screamed off the edge of the bridge. And I was left there feeling pretty down because this guy had obviously done something that was basically a deliberate act of cruelty. And I found out subsequently later that what he had in his truck was something called a smoke switch, with which truck drivers use to make their little editorial comment about emission standards. And they usually do this to hybrid cars or electric cars, but in this particular case, this guy decided to take it out on an old man crossing the bridge, pushing a cart. So I wrote a memoir about this particular trip. It's called Trek, My Peace Pilgrimage in Search of a Kinder America. And that story is depicted in here. And I also have been touring a one-man show. I've been touring a one-woman show featuring myself, a one-man show that I'm actually going to do at the Lincoln County or the Lincoln City Cultural Center in late July, if we're all out of quarantine at that point in time. Debuted it here on the Bayfront at the Maritime Heritage Center. I was the first artist to perform at the brand new Dorfler Family Theater there. This is a song from the show. It's inspired by that experience. It's called Fuel. Burning up fuel, guzzling gas, eyes in the rosy rear view, living in the past. Back when acid rain was falling, oh, those were the good old days when the Cuyahoga River was bursting into flames, burning up fuel, guzzling gas. burning up fuel, guzzling gas. Flying that flag, coughing up fumes. Hail to big oil, hail to the red, white, and blue. Don't mention global warming, that's just a Chinese hoax. It's your patriotic duty to turn coal into smoke. Flying that flag, coughing up fumes, burning up fuel, guzzling gas. Sea levels rising, wildfires raging, floods, landslides, drought, and hurricanes. Beers in the cooler, burgers on the griddle. Let's make this country great again, man. I just can't wait. Dumping that waste wherever it lands. Teaching those kids this world's just a big trash can. Recycling is for pussies, just like hybrid cars, organic food, or listening to that crap on NPR. Dumping that waste wherever it lands. Burning up fuel, guzzling gas. Burning up fuel, guzzling gas.
Ah, that was wonderful, Rand.
Thank you,
Great
Mark.
job. Wonderful.